I initially heard about the Roy's Report because I was a survivor of sexual abuse, both as a child and as an adult. Unfortunately, my re-victimization as an adult also happened in a religious environment. Abuse and Christianity should not go together, but so often faith and fractures are mixed together. And I originally heard about the Roy's Report because Julie Roys was writing about sexual abuse and scandal within the church. I felt like every story she wrote was one that I could relate to, if not directly, then at least indirectly, because the abuse dynamics are so commonplace and ubiquitous. And there's a predatory playbook. It would just seem as if most predators, whether they're faith-based or not, follow more or less the same patterns. Julie was the first reporter to ever ask me what happened to me in the context of a Christian environment and abuse by a famed apologist. She was the first person to ask, and she persistently asked until she got the full story. And I was bound by a non-disclosure agreement, and I still am. And so Julie did a lot of deep investigative reporting outside of what I could tell her from my own lips, for mine were sealed. So having Julie Roys write an series of investigative reports on what happened to myself and to my family at the hands of a powerful evangelical leader was terrifying. And ultimately, it was freeing. The truth did exactly what the truth says it must. It sets us free. So in many ways, Julie was the voice for not only me as a survivor, but many other people as well. After abuse in a faith-based environment, I have a faith that's as small as a mustard seed. I believe, Lord, help me with my unbelief. But how we overcome and how we restore our faith, one of the ways we do that is in community. And one of the things that abuse does is shatter our trust in the faith-based community. It's so important that people are able to gather in a safe environment, to be able to share common stories of sorrow, of suffering, and ultimately of restoration. It is by not only the blood of the Lamb that we are overcomers, but also by the word of our testimony. And so when Julie Roys invited me to speak at the Restore conference, I had no hesitation in saying yes. Scripture tells us plainly that my people perish for lack of knowledge. It is so integral that leaders from across the four corners of the world hear and understand what it means to be a victim, the nature and the methodology of predation, and what does recovery from sexual abuse and abuse of power and spiritual abuse actually look like. It's so important that we marry evidence-based information with our theology to make a roadmap for recovery. I don't do conferences much, but I would pretty much come anywhere Julie Roys called. Really looking forward to sharing a space with fellow sufferers, fellow survivors, and fellow soldiers who are battling in this arena of abuse. You're all so brave. I can't wait to meet you, to shake your hand, and to see you in person in 3D. So many of you I know from a virtual world, and I've been privileged to meet there. I cannot wait to see you face to face. Do join me at the Restore Conference with the Roys Report.